Welcome back to the Commonwealth in Fallout 4, and this is the settlement build for Greentop Nursery. So we're going to have a quick little look at what I have been doing here. I think first thing we're going to start off with is enemy spawn points. Let me just make sure, is this thing properly marked? Yes, it is. Okay, do I have anything else that's here that shouldn't be on now? Okay, here's your usual entrance. As you can see, this trader provision that just came in over here. Okay, if we look this way around, you're going to find your first spawn point right here, which is actually inside of the settlement. Here's your border. That's there. So I just decided, okay, we're going to put up some defenses over there. We've got it blocked off a little bit to make sure that nothing that spawns here will actually have a chance to come through this way. And this defenses, with a little bit of height on that one, covers the whole area on that side of the settlement all the way around down, all the way down to there. So anything that comes from this side will get taken out. Now, you do have the problem of ghouls and bugs that spawn. There's locations of ghouls and bugs that spawn everywhere in different places here. And obviously we've got this sinkhole here, where you also have a death claw, where you can actually hear, if you hear, listen carefully. There's a death claw down there, and he respawns every time. So anytime anybody gets close to that area, that death claw comes out. Hopefully it doesn't come out now. Okay, so here's our first spawn point over there. Okay, I've got a little bit of extra farming and defenses, and we've got our caravanners that come this side. So I didn't do too much over here. And then if we come around here, which is right on the edge of the settlement, right over here, you've got another spawn point right there. And actually, there's two of them for some reason. We got this one here, and I think there's another one like underground or something. Because if you look at the arrows on my screen, you see the two center arrows. I've got the one spawn point right in front of me, and there's one another 11 meters or something underground, which is kind of weird. Okay, so we got defenses on top of the roof over there to cover this side. So we covered the whole settlement with defenses basically right around there. So all the way down here. And there is another one. If we head around this way, there's 3 spawn locations. Okay, so this is the other side, and this is a very closed off area. Here's the other one on this side. Then we got defenses over here too. So the only place that's not covered with defenses on this settlement is more or less this back corner over there. So we should be fine. Now usually when you come here, there's a old little shack over here. So I took that out and then placed it with defenses. And was able to close up some of the gaps in the walls in the house. So if we open up our building area, you can see this one is just on the outside of the settlement, so it's a little bit safer. So technically you could build all the way up to here, but the spawn location is too close. So at least there's a little bit of gap here for these things to pick up anything that spawns down this way. Can't do much back here. See, the space is minimal. So let's quickly move back into the settlement. Get a bit of a higher view here. Okay, so this is the greenhouse that you find, obviously, when you come to the settlement. There is a family that's technically living here that farms this place. So you don't actually have to add in any food, no, any crops, because there is technically enough depending on how many people you want to add into the settlement. So mine is set up for 30 people. There's currently 27, and I've got plenty of food and water and everything here already, so that should be fine. So you can add in a couple extra crops, and I didn't want to change anything in here, so I left mostly everything as it is, except for just cleaning up some of the stuff. I did mention before, like the shrub we can take out. A lot of these things, you see the option is either to scrap it or basically just leave it. I would suggest leaving it, because you can't pick it up, you can't change it, you can't replace it with anything. Some things you might be able to, but a lot of the stuff usually you can't. So, and you can't craft these things unless you got mods that included some of these exact same items. I would say just leave it, because it adds to the look of the settlement and everything itself. Now, take out all the trash and things like that, maybe, yes, but a lot of these things, like a hoe, you can't craft a hoe, you can't craft any of these things, so just leave it there. So now it adds to the look of the bowl itself. Even the fertilizer bags, you can collect fertilizer bags and drop it in certain places, that you can do, but there's a few of them lying around. Okay, so that's the greenhouse, and then we've got a sleeping area which is all built out of scrap, and I just added in the normal beds. People have got storage, they're using different things for storage that they found around here. Okay, nothing too crazy. So it gives it a little bit of extra life. A couple of paintings, because now there's an artist living here apparently. Okay, so we can make our way through here. And then, yeah, we got now our power. We got a little bar area, seating area which everybody uses. We got workbenches spread out everywhere. So at least the settlers are walking around. Okay, we got our normal generator which I use, which is sufficient usually for all these settlements. Now, one little thing that I found with this settlement, which I've from enemy spawns half the time that I noticed, is the death claw, which usually happens on this side of the settlement. That's not including the death claw and the ghouls and stuff on that side. I've had quite a few times where death claws come in, and raiders and things like that, but you do get the side quest from Preston for raiders and ghoul attacks as well. So, but every settlement is a little bit different, and it is random. It can happen, anything can attack and can be random. One little thing as well is when you come to the settlement, you're going to have these chairs over here with people sitting. You can see on my screen there's a NPC sit on ground. There's a event map thing here in the spawn point, whatever you want to call it. I don't know how to describe it to you guys, where NPCs can sit in the ground. So a lot of the times you get the traders and they come in and they actually sit here. So I just put these mats down here, move the chairs accordingly, and move the fireplace here, because I think there is a fireplace here as well, but I just put in the proper one, so it looks like everybody's sitting around the campfire basically. Okay, we got this little sitting area here, and a little nice little shaded spot for them to sit into. Okay, workbench, power that side, shop there. Now the house, I cleaned out most of the garbage, but I didn't change or do anything in here. I left actually everything as is, just a lot of the garbage I took out. So this is a little area they come and they sit. Now you can see the people working with food and things. So most of the stuff is like this when you come in here. There's a chessboard somewhere. Where is the chessboard? There's the chessboard. This thing just keeps floating around here, so I left it there now. You can see we cleaned up a little bit. No changes done. Now you can put beds in here maybe and a couple extra sitting places, but it's not really necessary. You can put a couple of chairs or something in here. Let's put maybe like a couch or something. Okay. Give extra place for people to sit or sleep and things like that. But I thought now I'll leave it like that. There's a place here because they do wander in and out of the rooms. Some of the rooms they have light, some don't. But I didn't do too much inside here. Okay, I think that's about it. So it's all depending on your building style and what you want to do. It is a fairly large place to build in. Obviously the only thing that's not very cool is this spawn point is within your building area. Now usually when you do settlement builds, it's not very nice to build and then you got this place like this or this spawning spot. So I usually try to exclude these areas because most of the places are big enough to build in. So you can try building something around it or somewhere, but somewhere enemies will spawn or get into your settlement either way. So it's something to keep an eye out for. But for a fairly medium-sized settlement, there is quite a few spawn locations and enemies around here. But we can't use this ball border. It would be cool if you could like add the name of the settlement or something on here. And this is one of the farming settlements, so something to also keep in mind. Okay, well guys, that is a general look at Greentop Nursery. So we're going to leave it there for this episode. And I will see you guys again in the next one. Cheers.